been a tough week for film and theater lovers, hasn't it?
I know.
Dame Maggie Smith, gone. You know, she was such a force.
Oh, absolutely.
On screen, on stage. I mean, everybody knows her.
Yeah.
From Harry Potter, of course.
Of course.
As Professor McGonagall.
Right.
Or maybe as the Dowager Countess on Downton Abbey. But those roles, and they're iconic, don't get me wrong, those were just the tip of the iceberg for her career.
I think that's what's so amazing about her is that most people know her from these like later roles.
Yeah.
But she had this whole career.
Decades.
Decades before any of that even existed.
I mean, two-time Oscar winner.
Exactly.
That's not an easy thing to do.
No. You don't win 2 Oscars unless you're able to just disappear into characters so completely different that you can convince the Academy, which is like the toughest critic out there, that you are not just acting, but you are embodying someone else entirely.
So true.
It's just remarkable.
All right, so her first Oscar was 1969, The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie.
Yeah.
What on earth was that role? Because I feel like that's not on most people's radar.
So it's this fantastic film where she plays Jean Brodie, who is a teacher at a girls' school back in the 1930s. And she's got this very magnetic personality. She's the kind of teacher who like inspires her students, pushes them to kind of think differently. And this is where I think Maggie Smith's brilliance really comes through. She's also incredibly manipulative. She's molding these young women in her image. And Smith portrays both the kind of charm and the danger of this woman, making her just this incredibly complex character.
See, that's the thing. Like, she makes you think, oh, I totally would have fallen for her too.
Right.
Like, that's dangerous, and that's hard to do as an actor.
Yes.
Then, less than a decade later, she wins for California Suite, which
is completely different.
Polar opposite.
It's a little 180.
So who's she playing in that one?
She is Diana Barry, who's this, like, glamorous, slightly unhinged actress navigating a very chaotic reunion in Beverly Hills.
Oh, my goodness.
Think witty banter, a healthy dose of cynicism.
Oh, I love it.
And, you know, probably a lot of champagne.
See, that's the thing, right? Like you said, she disappears into these roles so she can go from a potentially dangerous schoolmistress to a glamorous, you know, Hollywood actress. And it's like seamless.
Seamless. And it's that wit. It's always there, bubbling under the surface.
Yes.
It's in so many of her roles.
Oh, 100%. And that wit wasn't just confined to the screen either, right?
Absolutely not.
Because she was a legend of the stage.
Oh, she was incredible.
Made her professional debut in '52.
I know. Shared
the stage with Laurence Olivier.
Can you imagine?
Like, come on.
Just starting out.
I know, but like
Laurence Olivier.
I mean, that's a whole other ball game, wouldn't you say?
Oh, completely. Screen acting is one thing.
Yes.
But the stage requires, you know, presence, stamina that a lot of film actors just don't have. Explain that, though, because what's so different about commanding a stage versus, you know, disappearing into a character on film?
I think it's about connecting with a live audience, right?
Yeah.
Holding their attention for hours with nothing but your voice and your physicality.
It's true.
One wrong move, one missed line, and the spell is broken.
Yeah.
It demands this incredible focus and stamina. It's a true test of an actor's skill.
It's a marathon.
It is.
And she was incredible at it, winning awards left and right.
She was. And, you know, I think one of the roles that really allowed her to flex those comedic muscles on stage was a play called Lettuce and Lovage.
Okay.
She plays this character, Lettice Dufay, a tour guide with a real flair for the dramatic, like embellishing historical facts, but to hilarious degrees. Okay, so she's got that zinger.
Oh, she's got the zinger.
That comedic timing down.
Yes. And she won a Tony Award for this.
Of course she did.
Which is no small feat, right? Because comedic timing on stage is so difficult.
It's so hard.
You have to think about it. It's reading the audience, knowing when to pause, when to land that punchline. It's a dance. It's a dance. And she was a master of it.
She must have been amazing to watch live.
She was incredible. She had this way of delivering lines with this dryness, this like perfect eyebrow raise.
Oh, I bet.
That could have an entire theater roaring with laughter.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, I can only imagine. I mean, she must have been electric.
Oh, she was. And you know what's so funny? That comedic timing, that translated so seamlessly onto the big screen, even in roles you wouldn't necessarily expect.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like Sister Act, for example.
Okay, yeah.
Who would have thought that Dame Maggie Smith,
right,
this icon of stage and screen, would have such incredible chemistry with Whoopi Goldberg in a comedy about nuns.
It's perfect. And I think that kind of gets at another layer of her talent, right? We've talked about her range, we've talked about her wit, but she also had this ability to create these really memorable dynamics with other actors.
Absolutely.
And you felt it.
And throughout her career,
yeah.
you know, from her early work with these titans like Laurence Olivier to these later collaborations, like in The Best Exotic, Marigold Hotel, like she could hold her own against anyone.
Totally.
And she elevated the performances of everyone around her.
It's true. And you know, it's funny because we hear about actors, right, who are these divas.
Right.
Who are notoriously difficult to work with. And she seemed to have the opposite.
Yes.
Like, people wanted to be on screen with her, on stage with her.
And that says something because she was so generous as an artist.
Yeah.
And her work ethic.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, there's stories about her being on set, even late in her career, just like meticulously rehearsing her lines, always striving for that perfection.
Wow.
It's no wonder she earned the respect of her peers and became such a role model for younger actors.
Well, and speaking of younger actors, like, she was Professor McGonagall.
Exactly.
Like, a whole generation of kids grew up.
An entire generation.
Watching her embody this stern but, like, fair witch, you know?
Yes.
With the twinkle in her eye.
Totally.
And she did it so seamlessly. Like, that's the other thing.
It's incredible.
It's like she went from classic Hollywood to this, like, blockbuster era effortlessly. And it's like, how do you do that?
I think it speaks to her ability to connect with audiences on a much deeper level. It wasn't just about the characters she played or the lines that she delivered. It was about something else.
Yeah.
Something intangible, a charisma.
Yes.
A presence that transcended generations.
That's it. That's such a good point because it's like, she wasn't even performing.
Yeah.
She was sharing something with you.
Yes.
And that resonated with people.
Yeah, and it translated off screen, too. So, you know, Maggie Smith, very private person, but in interviews, known for her sharp wit.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
And that same dry humor that she brought to all of her roles.
You know, I love that for her.
Yeah.
Because it's, like you said, Dame Maggie Smith, the grand dame of British acting, but also like someone you could have a cup of tea with.
Yes.
You know, and maybe she'd make a really, really
little cheeky comment.
Cheeky comment if you weren't careful.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that.
She doesn't suffer fools.
No.
No.
But you know what we haven't talked about?
What's that?
We haven't talked about like the intelligence that she brought to all of her roles.
Yes.
Like even when she's being ridiculous, whatever, you still see that she's so smart.
She's so smart.
And that comes through.
100%.
So how's she do that?
I think she just had this incredible ability to convey these, like, very complex emotions.
Yeah.
With just a look, a gesture.
Yeah.
A perfectly timed pause. It's true.
And it's like she understood the human condition on this, like, deeper level.
Yeah.
And she was able to kind of translate that onto the screen.
Yeah.
In a way that felt really profound and accessible.
That's the thing. It's like, it's one thing to play a character, but to make you feel like you understand them.
Exactly. To empathize with them.
Yeah.
Even when they're flawed, even when they're making these kind of questionable decisions.
Right, right.
It's a gift.
It's a gift.
It is.
And it's what makes watching her so captivating because you're like, I'm in the hands of a master storyteller.
Yes. You're going on a journey with her.
Take me there.
Exactly. She's going to make you laugh.
Yeah.
She's going to make you think.
She might even make you see the world a little differently when you walk out.
I love that. Yeah. And she does. She really, really does.
Yeah.
Like you walk away and you're like, huh.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about that.
Totally. And isn't that the mark of a true artist?
Yeah.
That they can stay with you long after, you know, the curtains have closed, the credits have rolled.
Holy
She had that.
She really did.
In spades.
Yeah, she did.
She did.
Makes you wonder what it was like to work with her.
Right.
To be on set.
Yeah.
Or on stage, you know, and just...
And witness that.
To witness it.
Firsthand.
Yeah.
I've read interviews with actors who have had the privilege of working with her.
Oh, cool.
And they all say the same thing. Incredibly professional. Always prepared.
Okay.
But like down to earth.
Really?
Approachable.
No diva antics, huh?
No. Apparently, she had this ability to really put everyone at ease.
Wow.
Even though she was Dame Maggie Smith,
Right.
And she was always willing to offer guidance.
Oh, wow.
And support to, like, you know, the younger actor, sharing her wisdom without ever being preachy or condescending.
That's amazing.
I know.
That's so cool. I love that.
Yeah.
It's like she was this powerhouse of talent.
Totally.
But it never went to her head.
No. She seemed very grounded.
Yeah. And that's inspiring.
Absolutely.
That's inspiring no matter what you do.
It is.
If you can be that good at something and still be a good person.
And still be a good human.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Exactly.
It's really sad that she's gone, but
it is.
What a gift.
I did.
We've had her, you know, gracing our stages, our screens.
So long.
For so long.
Yeah.
And she left behind such an incredible, you know, just a legacy of amazing work.
Absolutely.
And you know what I think I'll take away from this?
What's that?
I think I'll take away from this that, yes, it's sad.
Yeah.
We lost someone.
Of course.
But wow.
Celebrate.
Celebrate the talent.
Yes.
Celebrate the work. Go back and watch these things.
Exactly. Watch them again and again.
Because every time I do, I find something new.
Exactly. They're meant to be revisited.
To her, to Dame Maggie Smith, what a legend.
Absolutely. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.